Okay, so what I thought we would talk about, I had this thought when somebody in the one of my clients said, "I'm going to have some treats this weekend, and I'm okay with that." And for some reason, that triggered a thought to me. Like, what does some treats mean? I feel like I go into occasions thinking that too, like I'm gonna have some treats, whatever. But and then I end up like not really knowing what some treats means to me, and so I end up like having huge amounts of all the treats. And so it just got me thinking, like, what does some treats mean? So if I'm gonna go into an occasion boundaryless, like that's fine. Like, boundaryless, who cares? I might have a lot of everything. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm okay with that. I'm making that choice. That's cool. But maybe you want to go into it with a plan of, I'm going to have only the treats I really, really like and don't get that often, right? And so you kind of have the plan that you don't want to go complete bonkers, but you want to enjoy yourself but still feel good after. Or, maybe it's going to be, I'm going to have a smorgasbord, a little piece of everything on my plate, and then walk away and be totally done. So it just got me thinking, like, what does some treats mean? What does that actually mean when we walk into occasion? Do we have a clear, boundary or set plan and intention in our mind? Or are we just going in kind of like, I'm going to have some treats and don't know what that means. And then we end up like snowballing and being like, that's not really what I meant to do. So what I want to talk about with you guys is if you have thought about that and, in going into your next occasion, what kind of plan are you going to have around these treats? Like, what are we actually visualizing versus just some arbitrary, I'm going to have some treats and be fine with it. So any thoughts on that? Or have you guys struggled with that in the past, not having
It's
clear
always
boundaries?
a struggle. Oh, the
True
desserts
that.
are always a struggle. But in my mind, I have committed to only having desserts that are homemade. So if it came out of a box, clearly it's not going to be as good as something that is homemade. So I'm doing Christmas brunch. My aunt is bringing a peach bread pudding that is made homemade. There's no way in hell I'm not having a piece of that, but she also can't leave it here. So
Yeah,
when she
100%.
leaves, it's got to go. But I'm getting a piece of that. I'm probably going to have some eggnog ice cream waiting so that I can put it on top. But
I
I've
like that
also
plan.
found that in the year and a half or whatever the amount of time I've been in this group, the stuff that I used to love almost makes me sick now. It's too sweet. So I'm all excited about it, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I'm not even going to be able to eat the piece that I'm envisioning because it's probably going to be too sweet now.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I have this expectation around things too, and I'm like, it's going to be so delicious, and then I eat it. I'm like, actually, that wasn't as delicious as I like planned it to be or envisioned it to be.
Yeah.
But I like the only homemade treats business because the other things you can get any other time, right? Unless it's a Costco pumpkin pie, then that's off the table.
That's funny. Costco pumpkin pie.
It's so good.
Well, mine was like we had our Thanksmas, which is our Thanksgiving and Christmas blended together. What was it? A couple weeks. It was the week after Thanksgiving. And I always make my famous, sugar cookies, and everybody loves them, including myself. But I made the majority of them and gave them as gifts because that's what I do for Christmas is make the stuff, get it out of the house. So, I mean, I came back with some, but I think I only ate a few. But my vision of going in was like you eat the stuff that's really good. And I didn't feel bad that if it didn't feel good, it didn't taste as good as I wanted it to, I didn't finish it. Because why waste the calories for something that isn't good? So
yeah,
that was my
and sometimes it's not even about the calories. It's like, why waste the like inflammation that it causes in your body? Because sugar's like a huge inflammator and all of the other things that go along with it. But I like that too, because sometimes I eat the whole thing and I'm like, I didn't like that. I shouldn't have ate it. So it's kind of good to be cognizant of, do I really like this? Do I need to finish it? Do I need to feel bad about not finishing it? That's another really good boundary.
My mom asked me the other day if I was baking. I used to bake like 5-6 different cookies to Christmas, and I told her no, I wasn't. And then I said, the only thing you need to make is your Rocky Road. She makes this really good Rocky Road. And she's like, okay, I'll make that. And so I was thinking about the other stuff, because I know she's going to make probably 12 different things. She always does. And I don't know. I might have a taste of a few of them. I haven't decided which ones, because I don't really know what's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But, the treat is the chips and queso. And that's something that we always have on Christmas Eve. And that's kind of my weakness, where I'll want to eat it as leftovers the next day, and it's just really good. But
Wait, what was it? You kind of went out right when you said what it was. Now I'm dying to know.
Chips and queso.
Oh.
She makes a really good queso. And I would rather have that than the sweet treats, I think. But I think I'm going to limit to just that day and just one serving, because I can go back for that over and over, and I can warm it up the next day and have some more. And so I think that's where I'm going to set a limit, because that's where I can kind of snowball. But as far as the sweet stuff, I usually taste a couple of the things, and that's it. And I'm not bringing anything, so I don't have to worry about the baking and having the tastes while I'm baking and stuff like that.
That is one of my downfalls. I just made cookies and I probably ate, not half the dough, but that's why I don't bake that much, because I got to eat it pre and I got to eat it post and all the things.
Yeah.
I like those. I like all those thoughts. I want to put a better boundary on Christmas, because Thanksgiving I just go boundaryless, and I'm okay with that. Because I don't do that very often, but I always feel, oh my God, by the end of the night, I'm like, oh, what did I do? Like, I always feel really bad. And that's the part that I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel yucky, and I don't want to have like a day of recovery, or sometimes when I feel that yucky the next day, it just kind of goes right into the next day again. It's like spirals for me. And so I'm gonna have to think about like what kind of boundaries and then don't falter. Just go in like, this is what I'm doing. This is non-negotiable. This is it. It's this, and if I can go in with brain power like that and a brain thought like that, I'm good. But if I'm loose and I just kind of, how sometimes you tap dance around thoughts, you don't really like say them out loud, and they kind of swirl and they're not clear. When I do that, forget it. So even maybe I'll say it out loud, because when I say it out loud, my brain hears, and then it kind of sticks more. I think that kind of goes
also
with
just having a plan, because if you go in willy-nilly, and just say, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm okay with it. Well, if you don't know what that is, you're gonna justify if you go overboard. Where if you went in with a plan, you would be like, I set my plan at this. I'm going to keep it at that. And some people, my daughter included, she has to have a plan. If she doesn't have a plan, she can't function. Everything has to be a plan. So she's just one of those people that needs to have that. And it helps her and relaxes her, because otherwise she has too much anxiety going into it.
It's crazy too how you said like how you can kind of talk yourself around it, because it is true, we can find excuses if we don't set like a specific plan. We can have a million excuses to be like, well, I didn't really set a plan. So it's fine. And so that's so true too. That's so true.
One of my childhood memories around Christmas Eve is it's not a good memory. I remember being like going to bed at night and being sick to my stomach. And it was probably all the sweets. We probably ate all the cookies on the table, all the candies. And I just remember almost every Christmas Eve going to bed and just feeling sick to my stomach and kind of like a sour stomach, like I wanted to hurl it all out, but I didn't. Um, and and so I think about that a lot on during Christmas with all of the sweets and stuff. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of avoid the sweet stuff and choose the salty instead. But yeah, I think now that we're doing Fitme, and we're a little more in tune with how we feel with food, that like I'd rather just have my water next to me, drink my water, be hydrated, worry about what other people think if you say no to their treats or, the wine or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just really paying attention to how we feel.
Yeah. I love that about Fit Me too, because I can remember the same thing at Thanksgiving, like as a kid, just like, oh my God, I'm so full. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with like the calories and all that. It's more just like, oh my God, this is a miserable feeling. Miserable. Like, why do I do this to myself? Oh, I don't have to. Oh, I don't. That's like ding, 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 weird. Like you don't have to do this to yourself.
Yeah.
And so that kind of keeps me remembering my plan more than like, the weight I'm going to gain 2 weeks from now. Like the kind of, it goes to like the instant consequences that helps me remember. But on the other hand, if you know that you're going to feel like crap eating all the things and you don't care, that's fine. That's fine too. Like that's totally fine. It's just making the choice.
Yeah, that's one thing that was a harsh reality for me, is because, since joining Fitme and regulating my gut, and then Thanksgiving wasn't so big as it, well, yeah, I guess it was, because I ate a lot more carbs that weren't good carbs. And so like my digestive system was just like so crazy and I felt so bloated. And I'm like, wow, this is how I used to feel every day before doing the Fit Me plates. And it was like, oh, yeah, okay. It was, but it was such like a bell that went off in my head because of it, that I'm just like, wow, I used to feel like this every day and thought that was my normal. So
yeah,
for me,
cool.
you saying, oh, do I want to eat this and feel awful the next day? I can totally resonate with that, because that's how it was for me. So it's like, where I used to last year, I'd eat my cookies until I was full instead of eating a meal. And now I'm eating my meal first and getting that in, and then, having a cookie or, a couple cookies instead of a whole plate of cookies, because it really does affect your body.
I totally
and not
agree.
in a positive way.
No. And I like that you said that you eat your meal first. And that's kind of another thing that goes along with like making our plan and being able to stick to it. Like I always used to just not eat all day and then go into the event and just, oh my God, devour everything. And so setting ourselves up in that first part of the day, like winning our morning, will help us actually in the evening, persecute our plan. What's that word? Follow through on our plan. Will help us execute. I couldn't think of the word. Will help us execute the plan as we want it to go. God. So it's just interesting how like the Sunday prompts of winning our morning and, winning our nights, and that 1% is actually going to help us with our occasions that we've chosen to like stick to the plans that we want for ourselves. I'm going to take a picture of us really quick. Hi, hey, do you want to get in the picture? Tika, get out of here. Okay, let me do this without turning the screen off. Okay, I'm just doing a screenshot. So say cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, cute. I got it. Anything else that anybody wants to talk about on this topic?
No, I'm actually excited. Looking forward to the whole Christmas thing. I haven't finished my Christmas shopping because I didn't realize it was Saturday, next Saturday.
Ugh.
Wait, Christmas is next Saturday?
Yes. Yes, I learned that today. I was like, shit, I don't have gifts for my mom, my grandfather. What the hell? How is it next weekend?
I know. Somebody told me Merry Christmas today, and I was like, wait, Merry Christmas? Crap. Oh no, that's not good.
I think the only thing I'm stressing about with the holiday is that I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be going to my mom's for 5 days. And I think I've talked to you about this before, Leah, but having the routine while I'm over there is going to be really hard. And so I always, my non-negotiables are always my water and movement. But movement, I don't know. It's going to be a lot harder because it's freezing over there.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's always something going on early in the morning or even late into the evening. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's just going to be really hard to find the time to do the things that I am so used to doing here.
That is true. And I find it the same way. Like when I'm off my regular schedule or I'm just, it's hard. It's like hard for me to get my water in. It's hard for me to, get all my meals in. But maybe just going in with it, not this all or nothing mentality. So like maybe you usually get 10,000 steps. Maybe you usually walk for 30 minutes. Maybe you're just like sneaking out a 10-minute walk, something like that, and not feeling like, you're either doing it all or you can't do anything. Because I do the same thing, but we don't have to do that. We can, I'm sure there's a place you can sneak in a 10-minute walk, even if it's just for a sanity check to like, you don't have to wake up at 4:30. Please don't sleep in, or 3:30, whatever God early time you wake up. But still kind of prioritizing moving your body, whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to look the same. Like when we're at the lake, I just walk. I don't worry too much about lifting weights and all the things that I usually like to do, every day of the week. Even if we're here for 3, 4, 5 days, it's like I just have to deal with the fact that it's going to look different, but it's not going to be forever. But it's still going to kind of help my mental state. So that's something to think about, Marlena. And I know that you do.
You got it, girl. You got this. You could do some weightless stuff too. Squats, planks. I'm doing a 50 squat per day challenge with my girlfriends.
Oh, I love
10 squats every couple of hours.
True. It just kind of gets the blood pumping, and like when I move my body, I just feel more like I'm awake and alive, and I'm more alert. Like on the days that I can't get movement in or I don't prioritize it, I'm like a slug all day long. And it doesn't even have to be that much.
Yeah.
But I know your mom lives in the mountains and is going to probably be cool.
Yeah.
Get a beanie.
Might be snowing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going for a walk tomorrow.
Just shovel the snow. That'll be your exercise.
Oh.
That is true. Okay, ladies. Thank you for coming.
All right. Thanks.
I will see you guys soon. How about that?
Thanks, Leah.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye.
Bye.